don't try to find your own voice. And I'd say that because that is one of the pieces of advice that was passed on to me by Bill Parks. And he was 100% right, I think, that if you just study, become curious about the world, curious about everything, you will gravitate towards certain themes, certain ideas, certain ways of expressing things. Style or voice, I think, is nothing more than people's habitual mistakes. In other words, if somebody, okay, Modigliani, making these elongated, or El Greco, making these elongated figures, maybe he had an issue with proportion, but it became a style, you know, and because in art, you cannot paint what we see. What we see is light rays hitting the object, bouncing off the object, going into our retina, being projected upside down on nerve endings in our eyeballs in the back of them, and going into the brain and being interpreted as whatever. But in that process, every step of it, you're losing information. And so the information is filtered through our own verbal constructs and prejudices. I mean, human beings, including artists, talk to themselves incessantly we never shut up, you know? And so the internal dialogue, we can either try to harness it and use it, or we can fall victim to it. And what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of my students, you know, will express their internal dialogue. They'll make it external, and it's kind of, oh, I started too late. I'll never be any good. I just don't get this temperature business. I don't understand this. Maybe I should take up golf. I was better at golf, but not really that good. I was like a 19 handicap, and they're saying all of these things. A useful dialogue would be, okay, I don't like this. What don't I like? Is it too light? Is it too dark? Is it too warm? Is it too cool? Is it too sharp? Is it too soft? Is it too green or is it too gray? You know, if you ask yourself sort of these paired questions, then you can come up with useful answers. And to circle back to style, Bill Parks told me, do not try to find your own style. And then in my own research, I ran across a little, I don't remember if it was an excerpt from a letter or somebody recording advice he received from John Singer Sargent, about, you know, I want to become a great portrait artist. And Sargent told him, no, don't try to become a great portrait artist. Try to become a great artist, and then you can do portraits. And that's what Sargent did, you know, obvious by his body of work throughout time. And, you know, so if you just try to be a great artist, you try to be the best that you can be at the things that interest you, eventually your style will find you. See, I don't think I have a style particularly, but then I've had people say, oh, you know, I recognized your painting right off the bat. Really? You know, but I'm just trying to be honest to the scene that's in front of me as filtered through my own internal movie. You know, generally, like the anecdote I told you about the persecuted woman, if my best paintings are paintings where it's not model sitting in chair, it's Romeo sitting at her mirror pining from her lost love. It's like a movie. And so then I start illustrating that movie. It's that internal dialogue. And that's what I circle back to, that people, you're going to talk to yourself anyway, might as well say something that's useful.